I think it come from my father. My dad years ago, he was a very boisterous man, very loud, you know what I mean? And my mum was very quiet, and I think my brother David, he takes after my mum, and I took over my dad. Take after my dad. Very loud person, but I think if you want your name out there, you got to be loud, you know what I mean? But it's not like an embarrassing now. I don't like get embarrassed or anything, do you know what I mean? The things I've done in the past, I think you need to be like boisterous in that, and now have an outgoing personality with the things I've done in the past, like kissograms. I've worked in Greece in front of people doing entertainment, George Michael, Elton John, Michael Jackson, Elvis, Freddie Mercury. So you can't really be shy doing that. I get taught I can't stop, but yeah, after my dad. No, he was a grafter, my dad. You know what I mean? Yeah. He worked down there. He was a blaster by trade and that, you know. But in them days it was different in the 60s. Now I used to call him Houshby the crack safer, but that's a different ballgame in them days. But now he would encourage you, you know what I mean, to work. And I think all the family's grafters have always worked, you know what I mean? So
right.
He encouraged it, to be fair. Yeah. I like the graft, you know what I mean? I don't like the it's like I work daytime and then I work weekends as well. But I think you've got to graft. If you want something in life, you can't just sit in your arse. It's not going to come to you, you know. Reach for the moon, and if you miss the moon, you hit the stars anyway. So he had a great personality, you know. He was outgoing. He was a great outgoing person. Everybody knew him where he went. You know, he was loud, he was boisterous. A bit like me in that. It's not that you seek attention, you just are that person. And people do take it wrong sometimes, like, oh, look, it's attention seeker and all this, which I've had in the past, you know what I mean? But I don't care. That's the problem. When I'm doing whatever I'm doing, entertainment, there's no crowd there. I'm just there. Do you know what I mean? If they enjoy it, they'll always get 75% to love it. 25% to say, it's not for me. And so I'm not really bothered about 25%. I was bothered about 75%, you know? Yes. There was a guy called Yanni in the bar, Two Johnnies, and I went over just for a holiday, and there was no entertainment there. Anyway, I used to do this silly thing called the chicken, which was a rubber chicken, and I used to get dressed up in a Mac, and I used to flash it, and I used to say, has anybody seen my cock? My big Rhode Island red, but it was just a rubber cock roll, you know what I mean? That's how it all started. And they loved it. It was something stupid, and I thought, we'll go down with you. Anyway, I come back, I seen Yanni, and then he says, oh, can you DJ for a little bit? I said, oh, well, I'm a bit laugh, get dressed up as Elvis or something. So we got dressed up as Elvis, and that was it. It was absolutely chocker. And then we says, oh, we'll do it the next night. It just progressed like that, months on, and then I thought, yeah, but after this, I could come back next year and do a full show. And I put Michael Jackson into it, got the proper Elvis stuff, put Michael Jackson, you know, Freddie Mercury, the blues belt, everything that you could imitate, you could, like Chubby Brown I'd done all his films melody, and like it takes 130 films in a minute I can do, but it's just, you got to learn and get over there. But it was easy because it was only a sellout because no other entertainers. So it went from one show to 6 a week in all the different islands of Greece. Wow. Unbelievable. And I loved it. I had everything. I had the car, I had the boat, I had the apartment. But when you get older, you can't jump about on stage for 2 hours, you know what I mean? So I needed to find something that I could do entertainment wise, but not that. And that's later on how I come into this. But it wasn't. I didn't even know about MCing. I didn't even know doing that sort of thing. It was just one person come up to us, which obviously we're getting later, and it just happened. Like. But the Grease thing was absolutely amazing. You've got to do it when you're young, because it's like you know, like being how can I explain it? Like being a star, but on a smaller scale. A very smaller scale. You've got 200 people instead of 200,000 people. Do you know what I mean? But I was selling DVDs, and they were like, oh, you were class, you have a photo, and all that sort of thing, which I'm not really bothered about. But and then when you get 6 months there, then 6 months here, I was to save all my money. Yeah, it was a full-time job. It was like 6 days a week. I got one day off and that, and I entertained them all. And Tingaki, Keflos, Cordamina, Town, Master Hari, all of that. It was like one island of Cordamina, and then you had like the villages. And I used to go to all the villages each night. You said, this would be packed. It was packed. It was just mental. And there's some photos on my Facebook that you can see that it was just crazy. I'd do an Ali G and all that when Ali G was out, you know. But it's, I love Greece. It's just a lovely country, like, it's class. It was like Chubby Brown. He does like films. It's like once upon a time, my cousin Vinny was home alone, Rocky was home alone too. It's his greatest story ever told. It's a love story about it. And it's a man when Harry met Sally in Philadelphia. I was a fatal attraction. Was a pretty woman with extra tits. She's a singer by female with death. She deceived Alfie, the jazz singer, or dirty dancer, at his proposal. She had personal services with a few good men, Batman, Rayman, City Slickers. She had the best little house in Texas 95. No Jonah Krause, no fish goal, whatever. She fucked like a Roger Rabbit. Talk about lethal weapons 1, 2 and 3. To be honest with you, Bill Go Rambo second was sad. Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves was down on Beverly Hills too. He took trains, boats and planes in Manhattan on the water from Rob Wright Braveheart. Because when they find out the good, the bad and the ugly, the only could die young. She yelled this was on Schiller's List and Titmus and Crew, Robocop, the Bridge to Falls, Switch of Birth, the next of kin. Why didn't they just throw Mama from the train? She determined this hunt now. The detective went to Africa and the land of time forgot a free Willie in town called Alice. Who the fuck is Alice? And that's what Chubby Roberts used to do. They used to go into Alice song. Sally called, and that was like part of Chubby Brown. But he also done all the Beatles melodies. And there's about all the Beatles songs in one sentence, and that takes about 2.5 minutes to do, which you can do, but you get bored with it. Like, wow. But it's and I suppose when you do Chubby Brown, he's a legend. I mean, he's a bit crude, but you can cut them bits out, you know what I mean? But the talent that he's got, that sort of thing, is a good thing. Oh, definitely, aye. For a guy like him too, he's a multi-millionaire, but he still does his act. He doesn't need to do it. He does it because he loves it. And once he, like you said, if his fans are still paying to watch him, he's still going to do it. And that guy, to absorb all his shows, and he's just a talented kid. Do you know what I mean? He sits in the garage and he puts all his scripts up and he just analyses them. Because he could just sit in the house and just sit in his arse and spend his money, but he doesn't. So he must love it. And when you do something that you love, it's easy. Like. I come back on the summer and there was a body spectacular. It was auditions. But my mate E. Morgan, he's got the Powerhouse Gym in Bill Key. He's a professional bodybuilder, IFBB professional bodybuilder. And we used to train years ago and that, you know. And I had finished with it, like. But they wanted for a little bit of a character. And he says, oh, Brian, there's an audition for this body spectacular for Sky. So I said, oh, well, I'll go in for it. And we knew John Hobson, which was a good friend of mine now. And Ian was going down there and thinking and that. So they come up, done the auditions in Newcastle. And I met John a couple of times, John Hodgson. And we went to the Hilton Hotel, I think it was, or one of the hotels in Newcastle, done the audition. I went dressed as Ali G for a bit of a laugh, taking a bit out the bodybuilders. And I was like, ooh, she nips now. Anyway, there was 4 people got through, and they says, well, yeah, we're taking you through for an extra one because with your personality and that. And I got through, and then the camera was following me for 3 months. I was in Hello magazine. It was like a full picture of me. I had the pubs then at the time, and they said pub landlord to bodybuilder in 10 weeks, and they had a full page of me, and then they had Brad Pitt, a half a page on that side, and I thought, well, it was a great, you know, to say to people I was in OK magazine, Hello magazine. And they were doing big write-ups on us. I went on Richard and Judy, and it was really successful. It was really good, you know what I mean? It was good. I had publicists and all that sort of thing. It was just, I don't do them for like recognition or like to be spotted. It's because I want to see if I can do it. And people, that's where people get me wrong. They think, oh, he loves the attention. It's not that. It's if I can, I've got to push myself to see if I can do that. Mm-hmm. And I did. It was hard work, you know what I mean? And Dorian Yates, he 6-time Mr. Olympian, he like took on his wing and all that. He gave with John Hodgson for the nutritionist and that, and he should train with that and do all food and PM vitamins, EM vitamins, pro peptide, pro recovery, drink this, eat this, chicken, rice, and you just see your body change week by week. Is unbelievable. Like, you know, it was all natural as well. You know, and I was eating. I still like. I eat like Chinese on a Sunday and that. Through you have Italians, and then I have chicken Kiev and chips. I love homemade chips and that. And then going from that to a strict diet, it's like bump, and your body's like, what the hell's going on here? Getting up 6 o'clock in the morning for now I run for it's like natural diet. It absorbs your fat and shit and that. So it's like, and you get rid of 3 pound on the morning. Then you have your oats with water. It was horrendous. It wasn't horrendous, yeah, I enjoyed it because the benefits you've got at the end of it, you look in the mirror and you think, bro, you're popping out, I'm popping out there, it's really good, you know what I mean? Yeah. There was another kid doing it, another lad called John. He wanted him, he was absolutely amazing. But what he was, he trained anyway, he just had to come down. But I didn't have a shape or nothing, and I had to come up to come down and get my shape, which I'm sure I'll find the magazines, like Hello magazine, the OK magazine, and it was good like that, and then you see things like that. But they're on Facebook, I think. It's on my Facebook page. Really good, I enjoyed it. They took you all over the country. Took me to London, Scotland, Manchester, these jacuzzis. We went to bodybuilding shows, interviewing people and that, and seeing what everybody else went through. I'd love to get back into shape. That's why I think I do boxer fat. I call it boxer fat. It's boxer fit. And it just keeps you going, because if you don't do it, you feel a little bit lazy. But if you do it at the end, like after you think, oh, I'm glad I've done that. You know what I mean? So I try and do that Monday to Friday every night. You know. But when you come back and you're like doing your house, it's hard. Like, you know what I mean? But I still enjoy it. Like, you know. Eric Clapton, Richard Attenborough. There was a film called Elizabeth, and it was like you know the I think, oh God, the castle era and all that. You know, when Elizabeth was reigning and that, and her army and all that. And I was one of Eric Clapton's courtier soldiers. And you see he's in the film, which is fair dues and that. Like, we've done about 3 weeks filming, which was good. It was good. You've done like I've done Jimmy Neal, which is the gambler and all that, and I've worked with Robson Green. It's just stuff that it's only like extra films, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like you're really like got a major part on that like that. It's just, you know, when you've done the extras when you're younger, and you think, yeah, I'd like to do that. But I was going to have me equity card then, which was good. And Brenda Marsh, I remember Brenda Marsh, the head of equity. I got my card through her. And it's just, I've always been in that sort of industry, you know what I mean, like entertainment-wise. Because I think once you're 25, if you haven't made it, because you're not going to make it, but you can be comfortable in doing it, and happy in doing it, because my talent, if I have one, there's another 1 million people out there which are more talented than you and better than what you do, and you've got to realise that. So I'm not just a one-off. Do you know what I mean? There's loads of millions of people out there like me, but I'm enjoying what I'm doing. Yeah, and I know what you're saying, because that's I think that's the price of fame, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Like when you get too high there, you do start to forget yourself. It's like this X Factor. People go for the audition like, oh, I want to get me life. It's me life. But once they get there, it's a different story. Like, oh, I wish you wouldn't follow it. But you wanted it in the first place. Why can't you just be the same person? And, you know, just go with the flow. Like, but they do it like, oh, get away the cameras. They made you. It was just coincidence, to be fair, because Stevie East from Coiling Kickboxing in South Shields, I've known Stevie for years. He was an absolutely tremendous kickboxer, Coiling, and he started his club off in that. And they'd done that first show in Temple Park, which I didn't know. And he says, he phoned us up, he says, oh, Brian, you're good with the patter. He says, you fancy doing the MC for us? I says, MC? What's an MC? He went, well, master of ceremonies. You know, let's get ready to rumble and all that. I went, oh, I'd love to do that. Like. And it was him that started us off. It's absolutely mental, because I went and I loved it. But from that show, like Wesley Fagan, who's got the kickboxing in Stanley, he says, oh, will you do my show? I got your number off Stevie. I got that. Then one from there, one in Middlesbrough. Then Middlesbrough, I got Ian Freeman, I do, MMA. And then from there, Mal Gates, he'd come in, he helped us a great deal. Then Phil Jeffries, you know, all these people, it's just got, and I've never ever advertised, and it's just gone from word of mouth to mouth to mouth to mouth. And then Phil Jeffries, and then Dennis Hobson, doing in Sheffield now, great guy. They're all great guys, do you know what I mean? Because they're like, right, we want you to do this, blah, 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 and this is how much, and blah, blah, blah. And the thing is, I also do the compare shows as well. But it's all through Stevie East with the MCing. I always mention Stevie because he was the first one. I had one a year, one show a year, and that was Stevie East. It was at Temple Park. And it's ironic because on Saturday I do his show at the Cleveland Club as well. And all of the interviews that I've had, like TV and like radio and that, I always mention Steve because he was the first, and everybody that meets said, I'll give you your first break. There's only one person did that, and that was Stevie's, because he got us into it. And I admire all of them: Phil Jeffries, Steve Wraith, you know, your Mark Clausells, and everybody like, and Dennis Hobson, and obviously Yagi, and like ABF, European Boxing Federation, them give us 30 odd shows a year. Them. Wow. And that are a great company in that, and lovely people. James Ward, he's classy, he's like my boss in that. And Spencer's his, and then we've got Kevin, we'll do auctions and that, we'll do the shows, and absolutely brilliant. Take us up to Scotland, you know, it's class all over the country, Blackpool, Nottingham, and I go all over, and they're like, you go, right, Brad, yes, there's your script, that's what you got to do, and it's so good and so easy. But I also do the compare stuff, like the arena and that, Rain Meadows Arena, like Christmas shows and that, compare, and that's easy. I'll do like Michael Jackson, and it's like next Thursday, I'm introducing the man himself, Alexander O'Neill. And as a kid, I grew up with him, with his music. And like the set was, it says, oh, Brian, can you do a night with Alexander O'Neill? I said, I'll get back to you. I went, oh yeah, I'm available that night. I was jumping for joy. But you know what I mean? It's like, will you do it, or will you get back with? fucking hell, are you mad? I'll cancel everything. But then ABF says, oh, I need you on the 25th to do an interview with Frank Bruno in the boxing in Hartlepool. I says, I can't, I've got Alexander O'Neill or Frank Bruno. But I always say first come, first served. Do you know what I mean? Whoever books us first, that's it. Now it's like 66 shows a year. It's just, that's no advertisement. I've got some key rings still here. I've never used them. But it's brilliant. Like, Ray Spencer from the Customs House in South Shields, he got us on to compare stuff because he's a legend in South Shields. Tommy the trumpeter, he's a director of the Customs House now. And I'd done the Fringe in Edinburgh with the machine gunners, and I had a bus company at the time. And I took my bus company, and I'd done the performing arts. And we went up to Edinburgh Festival. We'd done the Fringe. Can you believe that? No, we'd done it with Machine Gunners, which was a TV show years ago. And we got that on DVD. It was class. And Ray Spencer said, listen, Brian, I'm chock-a-block. Can you do this compare? So I said, what do you want us to do? He went, just go warm the crowd up. And that's all you do, 20 minutes. There's 200 people. I said, so I went, and I got into that. Now, I've got 23 shows in December doing that. And I've got a magazine I'll show you before you go. They've done a nice write-up on this. It is big set, because everywhere I go, I respect everybody. And I get on with everybody. Now, I'm not this person where people say, oh, look at him, he's up his own ass. I'm not like that. If people say, oh, can you do this? I'll do it, no problem in that. Because I think they're my employers, so I've got to just do what they say. But in perspective, you know what I mean? And I think, well, will this not be better if we do it this way or that way, do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And they're all lovely people, and they're just professional people that I get on with. And it's not like there's no bickering, there's no that, right, Brian, we'll get on there, get them going. And if something goes wrong, you've got to jump in and improvise and get the crowd. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's just that, and it's brilliant. I love Christmas anyway, but to do what you love and get that niche award, I don't know. For me to get in a ring, or me to get on the floor, it's like you doing your photography. Mm-hmm. It's natural. Do you know what I mean? It's, you enjoy it, you love it, and it's easy. Oh yeah, Jimmy Lennon, Showtime, all them. These people, and Buffer and all them. Absolutely. To watch them, I love watching them, and you get that tingle, you get the hairs up your back of your neck and your arms, and you're like, wow. But it's the venue. I get that. Now, for somebody to do, you want to say, I want to be there and I want to be in that moment. And I get that moment all the time. Because when I'm in the ring and I'm introducing somebody, I try and, like, big it up. So I get that feeling as well. Because I'm buzzing for them boxers as well as myself. And for my brother, let's get ready. And when you think, it's just like, wow. And to have your own saying, like, it's time, and let's get ready. It's showtime. I would like to say, this is it. Like Michael Jackson said, this is it. You've got to make something up. Mm-hmm. So I thought, well, I haven't got anything yet, but the red jacket. You've got to be noticed in the red jacket. Yeah. Gets noticed. Oh, the guy with the red jacket. I've just bought a white one now. So I'm changing to white. But yes, inspiration. Oh, big set. But these people get £150,000 a pop, you know, and 100 grand and 50 grand and 75 grand. Let's get right around. He has on. You've got to pay him if you say it. Which I can't say it. But I can say, let's get ready. It's time. Because they're half it. But never mind. Class. There was, I think, the talent in boxing is unbelievable from every side of the country, because you're talking, Peter Corpse, a great following, right? And his Barmy Armies is just unbelievable. You got Babyface Nelson, his is unbelievable, his crowd. And Kirk Goodens, his crowd is absolutely, Martin Ward and Tommy Ward. And all them people that they've got a great following, in like Bazel or something. Lewis, Too Hot Scott, brilliant. And these people, it's not just the boxer, it's the fans as well. It's the people that support them, and it goes a long way. And like the Nassas of Sheffield. Now you've got Prince Nassim that come out there. You've got Kel Brooks. You've got Ryan Rhodes. And these people, I don't know what it is about Sheffield, but them have got some great. Everybody just comes up. It must be the A in Sheffield or something, because these are class boxers. For you know, that Kel Brook to go to America and take a title off an American in his hometown. Brilliant. To do that, you've got to be special, because it just doesn't happen. It's like an American coming over here taking out, it just doesn't happen, do you know what I mean? It's like your Hattons and all these people, your Prince Naseems and all that, absolutely tremendous. The best fight I've ever seen, Rocky Balboa and Rocky Apollo Creed. No, but there was a 10-rounder in Sheffield, and these kids went like all out, all of them, both of them, bang, 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 bang. And at the end of I think they give a draw because it was outstanding for 10 3-minute rounds, and that one sticks to mind. But there's loads, because to introduce them, it's like when you do a bit of Box Nation, when you do the bit of TV, you've got to be static. And I know it sounds funny, I don't really like doing the TV, because you're not yourself, you just got to stand there. It's all in the voice, and like, there's a lot of people with their heads up their own horses and that sort of game, you know what I mean? I just want to introduce that boxer as best I can and get the crowd going. It's all about getting the crowd going, because you need something different in boxing. Your Mayweathers and that. I'm going to go right to Mayweather if I can just do one of these boxing shows. Not him, the ones, because he has loads of boxing shows in America. From Leggett to Vegas, something like that, you know what I mean? It'd be class. But there's loads of fights. There's loads of boxing contests that I remember, like Yanela's, when he won his title and that. Martin Ward with Stewie Hall. Stewie Hall, wow, unbelievable, getting the IBF. And if he had started them first 3 rounds, he would have won that outright. But he didn't. He lacked the first 3 or 4 rounds, and that's how he lost his title. But he'd come back, big style. And the people like Dennis Hosman's got under his wing and that, like Ross the Boss Burgess just won his title there and that.
I see that.
Oh, brilliant, excellent. They're lovely. And they do treat you, I don't know, they're just nice people. Do you know what I mean? But there's loads of, getting back to that, there's loads of boxing. There's a guy called Lee Mould, he's coming up. He's a great boxer, and he's under Mal Gates' camp. That kid, he broke his nose, but brilliant. And you can always tell when somebody wants it, and somebody, you can just see natural talent, like Bassi, class. Yeah. The Nassas, them are natural. And your Kell Brooks in them, honestly, unbelievable. Not. But the Tom Whitfield, who Mal's got, great boxers. Yanela's great boxer, but they train every night. They want it. You've got to want it. Oh, I'm having this night off. They don't have nights off. They don't. If they have a night off, they go running. That's their night off. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
There's loads of boxing. Like your John Lewis Dickinson, your Travis Dickinson. Wow, that was probably the fight of the year last year. Travis Dickinson, unbelievable. I think it was on Sky. I don't know if it was on Boxing Nation. Boxing Nation probably covered it, but it was Travis Dickinson when that kid took him down. He's on it October again. He won it. That was like a Rocky Balboa fight. Take them body shots. Just gives me. I'm back up. I'm not losing this. Bang! And I've just done his show. I've done his show 2 weeks ago at the arena. Travis Dickinson's show. John Lewis Dickinson. And they're lovely. They're lovely people. And the love is, I want you to introduce us. And people say, I'm glad you're here. And it's nice that, you know what I mean? You kind of get that. Like, I want you. But it's not what you know, it's who you know in this industry. And you get your foot in the door, and I keep it in the door. I take your foot out and let the door close on you. I don't want to be a gig superstar, and I enjoy what I do. And I'd rather keep the shows I've got. Do you know what I mean? If anything comes of it, fine. Like Dennis says, I'm going to get you to the top. And I says, Dennis, I'm happy the way I am. Do you know what I mean? I earn money. I'm happy. I'm breathing air in my lungs, you know what I mean? And I love my jobs, I love my house, and I love my life, and I'm happy with that. But if Vegas come along, that's the one. You've got to head for Vegas. Vegas is the one, and even if you get a couple of shows or whatever, just to fly over and see, I've done it, got the t-shirt. Well, the Frank Warrens and that, like Dennis Hobson's very good friends with them, that, you know what I mean? But they're not really interested in the MCs. They're interested in the boxer and the promotion. Their MCs will just, right, we've got this TV show, we're not bothered who does it. That's the way it goes. We're not bothered who MCs it. We get our boxers on. Their concern is the boxers, that's where the money made. The MCs don't make the money. The MC just controls the show, introduces the show. So they're not really bothered about it. Dennis Hobson he's like, Brian, I'm going to get you. Hey, do what you want. I say, I'm fine, I'm just a call away, you know what I mean? But then people, they're not interested. Like, it's like, there's running Box Nation at the moment, but it'd be great for somebody else to come along because there's no competition. In the Box Nation, the way they do a good job, don't get us wrong, but I think it just needs that little bit more spark because some of the MCs have got. They're alright, don't get us wrong, but they're not, they're just set in their ways. And once you get set in your ways, you start losing your panache, I think. Every show you go to, you've got to think it's your first ever show and you're buzzing on it. Because these people don't give a shit in the crowd. To think that it's your 100th show, you better fucking get in and do a good job. Do you know what I mean? People might see it for the first time. It has improved a great deal now, from your Glenn McCrory's and all that, who won the IBF years ago, because of people like Phil Jeffries, your Steve Wraith, your Mark Clausell, the ABAs, because people that come through the ABAs, then they become semi-pro, then they become pro, your Mal Gates and that. People, we've got great champions now. John Lewis Dickinson, Travis Dickinson, Babyface Nelson, your Martin Wards, do you know what I mean? You've got the lads in Newcastle and that. It's come on tenfold, but not as much as South, because the TV coverage, the magazine coverage, maybe this is the big thing, the Peep magazine might just kick it off, because you need something like that to give it a boost, because Time Tees, they should be covering everything. They'll cover the 12th of December one, but they should be doing the amateurs, who's coming up, who's looking good. You know, like they do the football. The people that's coming up in the football, he's good, this and that. Messi, when he first started, they've got photos of him years ago, and that, they look up and that. But like, if we have a champion like Martin Ward, where's the photos of him when he first started? So there needs that like build up. Even if you start a little TV company, that I'm saying the Box Nation's got it all, but there's nothing up here. By the time you get down to Sheffield, Leeds, Manchester, then it starts getting the TV and that. You need somebody interested with the company to say, listen, we need coverage up here, the boxing. We've got excellent boxers up here. We've got brilliant, you know, all coming through. They're all winning that contest, you know, all the champions, big champions and that. And now it's got, the 12th of October is the big one, so you need at Temple Park, winner takes all, for the titles. There's 2 title fights on. There's the Eliminators on it. There's Peter Cope on it. There's Tommy Ward's on it. There's loads of great boxers, and they're all coming together to do this big show. Brilliant. Oh, it'll be absolutely tremendous. I'm buzzing for it. I mean, I'm going to be the MC for it. Well, you'll get an invite. Even if you're not doing it, you'll get an invite to do it. Definitely, because it's so hard for a promoter to make money. There's so much involved in like the negotiations and that, the posters, the tickets, and if you don't sell the tickets, and if you put the fighters on ticket deals, you know, I think it's like if you put them all together and say, listen, we'll take 25% each out. We'll not make a fortune, but we'll make more than what we're doing on our own. And that gives it like a slice, a quarter slice of the cake each, doesn't it? So you're getting people from Newcastle, Sunderland, Shields, further Ashton, Bedlington, New Biggin, Hartlepool. So all them people are just going, and everybody be happy. Do one show a month in Hartlepool, Newcastle, Sunderland, New Biggin. Yeah. You kind go wrong. I think that's what they should do, but some of them are a bit highly strung. Phil Jeffries doesn't need to. He's a millionaire. He's got his construction company. Mal Gates works. He doesn't. Mal doesn't get paid. Mal Gates does not get paid for his management. He doesn't. He says, the guys, I'd rather give it to you. He does it because he loves it. But then again, he should be paid. Do you know what I mean? He's got the gym there. He forks out a fortune for the gym, which he does. His boxer fight. He gets a little bit of money. Steve Wraith, you know, this guy's got his own business and that. You know, the co-ops, their father trains him and that. You know, what I mean, he doesn't get paid or nothing. No, he gives it to his son. So it's not really a big industry unless you get the coverage, and then you start getting the TV work, which you're fetching the TV, and again, there's nobody covering up the North East, which there should be. And if they did, they'd get that. Even if you had one of them TV for, like the internet, you pay like £1 to subscribe, and you can see your own boxer on there. You'd still make a little bit of money, do you know what I mean? But you need a big investor to do that. And Mark Clausell is trying to do it, but it's hard. And I think he needs all that help he can get, because once somebody does it and it kicks off, it'll be massive. We'll take on the rest of the country, to be fair. I think they should. I don't know if they will, because some of them are like very proud people. And that's the problem. Just let yourselves go and say, listen, we should all get together here. It's like if Phil Jeffries. Now Phil Jeffries is letting Steve Wraith take over of the Summer Rumble, which is good on him. You know, Newcastle and Sunderland to get together like that. You know the rivalry between Sunderland and Newcastle. These two have been very professional. They've getting it together and say, listen, I've had enough of this, Phil Jeffries said. I'm just surmising, I haven't been told this. But I've had enough. You know, Steve, I'm going to give you this. Go for it, but I'll still help you. I'll still help you get the boxers in and this and that. And he was at the conference last week. Phil Jeffries was, and Steve Wraith, and Mal Gates and Mark Clausell. They were all there. And they all get on with the boxers. But that boxer puts that boxer in the fight. They still want that boxer to win. But they're still getting on, and they're still communicating with each other, and they're still doing business together. But get them all together, that's what I say. One, and then take on south. Oh, getting into MC, now you've got to have an outgoing personality. You've got to be crackers, and you've got to enjoy it. You've got to be shy. But you know what it is, it's not a hard job, to be fair, to introduce somebody into the ring. But you've got to have that certain panache to do that, if you know what I mean. It's easy for me to do because I've got an outgoing personality, do you know what I mean? But for somebody that's shy, it's not really the done thing, because you've got thousands of people watching you. And if you get that in your head, think, these are all watching me, God, I'm going to make a mistake. Just get in there, enjoy it, and pretend there's only you in the ring. And that's how I don't really care about the crowd. But I'll get the crowd going, if you know what I mean. If I know, like, it's a bad crowd, I'll get them going. A couple of dance moves or something, you know. But all you got to say is, Harlepool, Barmy Army. And that's it, they've got. You keep them there, and if you want them hyper, you hyper. But if you just, then them get on with it, it's brilliant. It was all day Sugar Ray Leonard, your Hearns, your Haglers, you know, your Duran, Roberto Duran and that, because it was 15 rounders, and you had to be so fit, it was unbelievable. And these boxers like your Hagler and Sugar Ray Leonard and your Hearns were like, bah, 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 bah. They went for it every time. Hearns got knocked out, your Haglers, and I think the best one was Hagler and Sugar Ray Leonard. He was like that, and he was like, bah, bah, bah. It was just fast, speed, was everything, like stamina, what they must put their bodies through to go through 15 rounds. Now it's only 12 threes, but then it was 15 rounds, and it was hard slog. Them were my best days in boxing, like, you know what I mean. You Mike Tyson, 21-year-old heavyweight champion, 21-year-old 2 months. And you got a guy who he says, oh, well, you're a convicted rapist. He says, and you're an asshole. Mike Tyson, legend, but what knocked Mike Tyson? A woman. Simple as it wasn't his boxing. Gus Marta died, that didn't help, and then that woman done his head in. Like, if you think the guy where you come from, and that's so being with that sort of woman, it's gonna do your head in anyway. And he didn't. I don't care what anybody says. In my eyes, he did not rape that girl. That girl doesn't go to Mike Tyson, the heavyweight champion of the world's bedroom, to have coffee.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Yeah.
And it's like that fucking stupid. What's his name? Pistori. No burglar. Burgles a fucking toilet. Pistorius. Nobody burgles a house and go straight to the toilet to see what's in the toilet to burgle. He fucking meant to shoot her. He did. That's my bit. But then Mike Tyson, getting back to boxing, there's no way in the world a gorgeous girl will go to the bedroom of the heavyweight champion of the world to have a cup of coffee unless she thinks she's going to have sex with him. And she had sex and she banged him in a corner. Fair enough, he was like, come on. But he did not rape her. In my eyes, that's what I'm saying. And that just fucked him. That killed him. Women killed him. Now, he's not allowed in the country. We kind of get the benefit of Mike Tyson because he's not allowed in our country because he's got conviction. Mayweather, he's not allowed in as well. Legend, 47 and all. Absolute. The kid is, I don't know why people call that bloke, because phenomenal. He's a phenomenal. He's unbelievable. Unanimously, he says I can adjust my body and adjust the way I box to win this guy, and he did, and he kept away. He got caught a couple of times, but he took it. He took it big style. You cannot, to be that good. But Marcy's got 49, hasn't he? Oh, it's Tommy Conroy. I got to mention Tommy Conroy as well, because he was a great boxing promoter. He still is, and he gives shows at the Rattler in Seaburn, and that's how I met Phil Jeffrey. I forgot about that. Tommy Conroy. Yeah, he's done some great shows at the Rattler. But it's been interesting. I've enjoyed it. It's very good.
Thank you.
There's Brian Houshby calling over the Peep. It's time. The Peep magazine.